All right. Welcome on into the stream. Brutal result for Milan. Very frustrating in every sense of a result. Just really frustrating start to the campaign in the Champions League. I thought there was an encouraging performance to be seen from the team. I'm not angry at them. I don't think that this was a lifeless sort of performance. I think that this was really something that Milan can take some positives away from. I'll get into some of that in a second. Just let me take care of something because I have to put something away. But keep rolling your comments in the chat. All right, we're back. So, Santos, bro, you're crazy. Gifting 10. You're incredible. You're incredible. We'll get into some of the comments, but first, Santos, always killing it. Santos, who do you have winning the World Series this year? If you're a baseball guy, I know you're a basketball and NFL guy. Yeah, I think the conversation of the story that has happened so far is that people are boosting. Sorry, I'm looking at the stuff for the chat. Just the overall refereeing decisions today, which were horrific. I think the ref was terrible, but I will say this, that doesn't matter. Milan were constantly under duress, under pressure throughout this match. I think some of the starters that we had in there, Emerson Royale, Loftus-Cheek, Milan were fortunate that they didn't concede more today. I don't understand the point of your comment, Gabriel. If you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, we'll get into this. Sabrina, not a fan. I'm going over. That was and was. Oh, you're an A's fan, Santos? Sorry that situation happened there. Gabriel, I don't think you understand how you sound, but that's okay. They were outplayed to an extent. Just because the refs were also poor doesn't mean that Milan didn't concede a bunch of chances. I mean, we could go look at the statistics here. We want to go talk about them, and this will just like prove it. There were 16 total shots, 9 on target from Leverkusen. They were pretty much outplayed. However, Milan had an opportunity to get a result in that. So again, Noah Okafor had muscle fatigue, so he was unable to start over the weekend. Really didn't look like there was a good chance for him in this. This is where Milan's frustrations grow more and more in terms of midfield options. We could put it the number 10 position and all that. One second. Let me get this one graphic up because I never finished it. So in general, it was difficult. Like you have to play Loftus-Cheek in this scenario, right? And Loftus-Cheek, as we all know, doesn't really fit into this current formation. Isn't a true number 10. I'm worried and questioning, I guess, that he didn't feel positive enough to start somebody like Loftus-Cheek next to Fofana and put Reinders back up top if Morata wasn't available. These are the issues presented, and this is why management deserves all the flack in the world for what they were getting over the summer on top of what we've seen so far, is that you have too many midfield profiles that are exactly the same. Just honestly. Andy, please stop. I just think you're like insane. He just got a result. 5 minutes of timeout. Too much spamming. Stop spamming. We'll get to some of your comments as I get my shots in here too. Shout outs to you guys as well. I'm all over the place. Excuse me. He's putting timeout. I'm sure he means well. It's okay, Gabriel. We're all frustrated. I think there's actually some positives to take away from this. So we'll start out with this, right? We have faced one of the toughest teams in all of Europe. Just straight up, like from the start of last season, Bayer Leverkusen have lost 2 matches. 2 matches, okay, in all competitions. It was the final against Atalanta, and then a couple of match days ago, they mentioned it on the broadcast. Do you realize how insane that is to just lose 2 games in all competitions? It doesn't matter if they were in Europa League and all that kind of stuff. This is a really good team. To only lose 1-0 to them with our defensive issues, Mike Magnan was top. I thought he did fantastic. This is a really difficult team and environment to get a result out of. So for me, when you're kind of heading in to this match and fixture, you're kind of saying to yourself, okay, if we can get any result here, I think it's a plus. Milan didn't get the result today, but you could take away something from that performance is that they kind of didn't look like deers in the headlight. The clinical finishing is still there, right? Like that classic Milan. Funny enough, Giroud would have been perfect for today. Unfortunately not. Yeah, Atalanta beat them. Yeah, they played a perfect match. Happened one time. Dan, like this is where the annoying thing is. So we're gonna call Bayern bad because Bayern hasn't done it. Bayern didn't do it. We know the level that Bayern Munich is. Come on now. You have to have perspective on this. I think what people are doing, and I said this in the halftime spaces, and it's okay that you want to do this because Milan should have standards. Here's the thing. We could have high standards for Milan, but we could also come to the realization here that they're still not as good as we want them to be. They're not better than a Leverkusen who have all around. Menez, I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'll do it. Do it right now, you rat. But again, appreciate everybody tuning in. So many of you here. Please like the video if you have not already. Subscribe. Agreed, Oscar. I'll get some of your comments up here because I just keep on going back and forth. I think Chuk did well, Andy. I think that Okafor couldn't play. I think there's definitely a reason for this. I don't think he's ever coming in fit. I think there are serious questions to be had this summer. I could see this happening. Anthony, he's just messing around. He's just messing around. I wouldn't say great. I understand where you're coming from. I think the second half was more encouraging. We'll get into the ref show in a second. I think the refs really prevented Milan from doing anything in terms of, having these opportunities. Loftus-Cheek clearly fouled at the end there. Whether or not Milan convert on that free kick, I think it was just brutal. Wirtz is it's not insane to say, Caliber. You can speak for yourself, man. You're the liar. I don't think they embarrassed themselves. Reinders could have scored, but had a brain fart. I don't know what he was waiting for. Reinders, changing up on that move. Too much style. You don't get style points for scoring a goal. You just scored a goal. They all count the same. Doesn't matter how you do it. I think they were not great, not a strong half. Referee is not to blame. Referee is to blame for certain things, but Milan technically deserved to lose in that one, in my opinion. I don't think it was a penalty either on Tammy Abraham. I think that Tammy Abraham, in his situation, was falling over a little bit. Initial call on the pitch was not a penalty. Understandable, and you can't reverse that because it needs to be a clear and obvious error. The initial call on the pitch is that Tammy did get fouled. It is a penalty. Then I don't think it gets reversed either. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Feel we tactically made key mistakes going defensive instead of keeping. I think they actually played to what they were supposed to. They just were really poor in finishing off these counterattacks. It's a deeper issue. I think this playing like that from the start is a little unsustainable. Leverkusen are always a great pressing team. They're always going to get their opportunities, especially at home, especially at Europe. Is a great side. It was tough for Milan for that. They just had to survive the barrage. This is something I was talking about on Twitter and again on halftime spaces. If you just survive, bend, don't break defense, you're conceding a bunch of your shots. You have a great goalkeeper stopping and preventing more goals from happening. A 1-goal lead for Leverkusen was doable to overcome. I think that Milan, with the opportunity to draw this match, would have been a great result for them. Unfortunately, it's just a loss. They have two of the toughest fixtures in their entire Champions League schedule out of the way already. So now that they could breathe a little bit more. There's so many fixtures left. They could easily advance. Unfortunately, Andy, VAR was never going to come into the picture because it didn't happen in the box. So since it happened outside of the box, they can't review a non-penalty play in that situation. Fitness, Zion. That's really what it is. It's just not everybody's fit. As much as I would love to, we just don't have the guys and bodies to do this week in, week out. I think that's something he understands relative to Stefano Pioli. We were pretty close. We missed quite a few chances. I thought we played way better than the Leverkusen. Than the Liverpool match. I totally understand and agree with your point here. So Liberali is not completely out of the picture. He's not bad for Futuro. He's just not ready. He's a kid. It's a big jump. I would like to see him get minutes. Yeah, I think they have more confidence moving forward. Seriously, not every loss is this sort of like the world and sky. The world is ending, the sky is falling. I don't think that's necessarily the case here. I think there's something that you could absolutely take away from this, and I think that Milan are going to heading into the weekend against Fiorentina. We will be recording a podcast tomorrow, myself, Matt, to discuss today and the look ahead to the weekend before international break. I couldn't see. Looked like it was outside the box. It's two matches against some of the better sides in Europe. Trust me when I say this. It's Inter. Anybody from Serie A plays these two teams that we played. No one's coming out with 6 points. No one is. Majority come out with 0. I think only maybe Inter come out with something more. Maybe Juve with a draw. Very defensive. Emerson Royale stuff. Jason, plenty of time, brother. Plenty of time. Just 2 matches in. Listen, despite the loss, again, I don't have this sense of like failure, complete failure. Okay, we're coming in with too many spams here. We're just gonna have to just, if you don't get it, rest of the stream. We appreciate your support, but no more spamming, please. It just wasn't. I think he was the flop of the match for me. I can't believe Morata missed it. I can't believe that Fofana didn't poach on it. Reinders Fofana. What did you guys think of Fofana? I don't think Fofana was that bad. He got a big, terrible rap on Twitter for today's performance. I don't agree with that. I think he was fine. I think there's certain things in his game that really kind of frustrate me. But I don't think today he was poor. I think there was something to take away from him. I thought that's one of his better performances for Milan. I thought he was okay. So yeah. Let's see here. Fofana was playing heavy metal football. I don't necessarily agree, Andy. I think there was inconsistencies today. Again, I am not sky is falling after this. I think there's some positives to take away, guys. I think there's things that Milan can look at in this match, that they can hold their heads high, take away from some of the positives, that they know that they can play on the same level as these teams. Thank you, Menez. Love you. Have a good night. Stay safe. For me, I think it's just really something that Milan can build off of. Not every result needs to be the greatest, even though we all want that too. It's really disappointing. I just think that you can take away sometimes positives from losses. I think when you look back on that match where Milan played Inter a couple of years ago, this is always an example I use. When Milan lose 4-2, they were up 2-0 in that. They end up losing, but there's positive signs. There's progress to be made. I still think that, with a new manager, a decent amount of moving pieces, there are, positives to take away from this that can push Milan in the right, direction. A lot of it has to do with what they do in the January transfer market, which is still a little bit from now. Um, 4-4-2 is better, but like we've been saying, can't always play that. Um, yeah, and this is also the problem. He is not in his naturalized position. He's still more of a box to box guy with stronger defensive tendencies as opposed to the other defensive midfielders in this team. Um, Atalanta outmatched this Leverkusen. Yeah, Atalanta had a phenomenal final and beat Leverkusen and outplayed them like no other team has. Um, I think today was a very congested area. He had the most dribbles completed just over the weekend. So it's not necessarily that. It's there's more options on the right. They have options centrally. They don't have to. Chukwueze not flopping the match whatsoever. I don't agree. I think this is kind of silly. I thought Chukwueze did fine. He had positive minutes trying to win the ball. Didn't get a foul in his favor. I think Emerson Royale was clearly a bigger weakness in this match. I don't understand how Chukwueze coming on for 10 minutes or so is the flop of the match. I think that's just insane, and that's just nuts. It's just nuts. David says, I thought Fofana was okay / good tonight. Honestly, we don't have a midfielder who recycles the ball back. There's just not that midfielder there. Emerson gets too much hate. Also, the foul was just in the box. Counts as a penalty. The Loftus foul was a pen. It was right outside. That's the real difficult part of it, Reaper. It's really difficult. It's going to be interesting to see what management does. Who knows? We'll talk about that one day. Do you think the old Teo is back? I mean, Teo was awesome today. I thought Teo had a really strong shift, did a positive performance today. It's really difficult to score. The ref today was yeah. Listen, I never want to blame the ref. Um, I think that you could always say a ref has a terrible performance, and you could also say that a team did not deserve to win. Today, for me, Milan did not deserve to win, but this referee and these linesmen were a freaking joke. I think they were an embarrassment to this entire match that the amount of foul calls were so inconsistent, where they were called, what the reasoning was behind not giving or giving a call. There's just so many different things that happen throughout this match that makes you scratch your head and get really annoyed at the fact that, like, yeah, maybe Milan didn't deserve to win, but where's the opportunity in general to have a chance to win? They were preventing them from any opportunity that was close to give them some of these fouls. It's frustrating. Again, I think it's still a deserved result by Leverkusen. I really do. Milan were also fortunate that they just missed an offside goal. I think Leverkusen had the opportunities and chances to score multiple. Um, I agree with this too, Mr. Boston. I think that they were unlucky at times, and this isn't even just the referees, just the overall stuff. Um, just frustrating level of calls here. That's all. I'm not going to stay on too much. Maybe another 10 minutes or so, guys. I have the Mets in the playoffs. Huge day. There's going to be more tomorrow. Just like to go here, let people get their comments in. Again, 142 of you in here. It's been fantastic. A ton of stuff to review with that. Yeah, I thought Milan had chances on the counter. It's just fine tuning things and being more clinical. Who would you rotate for the weekend? I really wouldn't rotate much. I think you put in your strongest 11 here, start them from the beginning, try and beat Fiorentina. We head into an international break there soon after. And then once they play Fiorentina, their next match is against Udinese, where I will be at San Siro for, which is still crazy. Again, to re-mention this, Noah Okafor had muscle fatigue over the weekend. That's why he did not play. He is not fully fit from what we understand and know. I agree, Caliber. Agree. At home team always have more chances. Yeah. Can't be too mad. I like, and again, if you're upset, totally like more power to you. I'm not incredibly upset. Like this loss today, feel a lot better than the Liverpool match. I feel a lot better than the Parma match, the Torino match, the Lazio match. Today, I feel far more better about where we are mentally, how we respond to going down in a really difficult environment. Again, Milan getting most of the difficult games out of the way to start the season. home to Liverpool, away to Leverkusen, away to Inter, away to Parma, which is still a difficult fixture. I don't care what anyone tells me. Away to Lazio. Milan kind of went through the cauldron to start this, and they're coming out looking okay. A lot more to do in terms of Champions League. Club Brugge have to pick up the 3 points at home. There's no denying that. Yeah, Noah Okafor only 200 minutes. Can't be getting hurt like that again. Yeah. So again, when we get something at the Bernabeu, Lord help me. I don't know. I don't think so. They're playing a little shaky. But here's what it is. Brother, you've been under a rock, not your fault. If you don't know. But Benacer is out to January at a calf injury, got surgery for it. He's out. But yeah. That's pretty much it for this. I don't have else much to say, so that's pretty much going to end the stream. I appreciate you guys for coming in, venting a little bit. I'll answer one or two more questions, excluding Madrid. Can we win the other 5 matches? Yeah, I think so. I think we have plenty of talent to do it. I agree. Hopefully, Liberali gets integrated sooner than later. Tammy Fowl was outside the box. I also think he was falling over. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the channel if you haven't already. Other than that, thanks so much. Take care.